little kid with Dr. Jones, with Indiana Jones.
Oh, Short Round?
He was like a short round.
Yeah. The only thing is he did cock block him pretty hard, but he needed to because he's like, hey, I think I found something over here you should look at. He's like, hey, listen, Nesbeth or whatever, like I know your dad's not here to teach you these things anymore, but if I'm kissing Christina Ricci, just give me fucking 5 minutes.
Also, the little like redhead kid who got pulled up by the headless horseman from the ground, his dad did a good job too. But when he was kind of like slowly, hobbling over to light the candle thing, I was like, "Oh, this kid's fucked. He's fucked."
That was the scariest part of the whole movie, man.
Dude, when he slammed the axe on the floor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god! Like the kid's sitting there, and he's like, "Okay, I think like he's just gonna kill my parents. It's okay." And
he was like, "It's fine.
It's okay. I'm still gonna be okay."
He stuffed him in a sack like Santa Claus.
Oh yeah,
dude. When the scene just like cut back to him closing the bag, I was like, "Did he just put that kid in a bag?"
Yeah, I mean, he did. Right?
He straight up, he was just like stuff, and then you never saw the kid again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he didn't like cut his head off, but maybe he did. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Never know.
Yeah. The witch scene, though, that was... So what happened then? So, like, there's the two little blonde girls in the beginning who see Christopher Walken, and the evil witch at the end is the girl that survived. But what happened to the old witch? Like, how did she get all fucking weird and live in a cave?
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm this rich, wealthy woman, and now, like, this is my fucked up sister.
Yeah, I think that's her sister, obviously, who lives there. And she was still like practicing witchcraft in the woods, and then for whatever reason she just decided to kill her so that she could be the sole person who collected the fortune.
Yeah.
But I mean, she didn't really need to kill her.
No, but how do we even get there though? That's what I'm saying.
She was just thirsting for blood at this point, okay? And any witnesses were liabilities.
Right, but like, how did this one who's like, I was educated in like Yale, and this other one's like, I eat bugs in this hole. Like, how did they get? Because they
every
looked
family has one, okay?
They looked like they were normal in the beginning, but then like, one of them is a witch, and the other one, well, they're both witches, but one of them's hot and one of them isn't anymore.
Well,
especially if you're a witch, don't you have the ability to kind of like make yourself attractive? Is that how this works?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Instead, she just stuffed in the base of a tree and left there until she gets killed.
Oh,
what a life!
How horrible is that ending though? Like when Christopher Walken like puts his head back on and then like forces himself on her and basically just bites her face. How does that feel going into that tree?
I mean, it can't feel good. Yeah, dude. Speaking of the tree, I like when he and Mazbeth got to the tree and he was axing it, and like the blood was just hitting him in the face, and then you see all the heads are buried there.
Yeah, it was good, and it did, like that looked very real. Like that didn't look at all like prosthetic heads or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it did look real. Like it had. I think what works with these films and Tim Burton, he's very practical, and so I think that's another real reason that this film holds up is the use of practical effects like that.
You're right. Like this was before he started using green screen for everything,
Yes.
And, like when we hit Charlie and Chocolate Factory, it's just like, all right, he's given up. It's just green screen for everything now. You're right, though. I think that's probably part of the reason why it holds up so well. And the music too. Damn, really spooky. It's got longevity also just because of the holiday factor. It's like, okay, this is a good movie to play right around fall and Halloween and stuff like that. But
yeah, if you're a New England person, you're a Halloween fan, or if you like horror movies, I feel like you could watch. I don't know why I haven't seen this in so long.
Or if you're Team Johnny.
Yeah. Hashtag Team Johnny.
I don't either, because I watched it this morning and I was just like, why haven't I seen this more recent? What am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Johnny Depp fan, so like, I don't know. It's been a long time, and all I knew was Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci were in it, and then all these other people. I was like, totally. Oh, that's the dude from Harry Potter. Like, oh, there's fucking Emperor Palpatine. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird too because like it did pretty well, and like I'm not saying that they should have done this, but if this. I mean, they could have. They could have done, like, the Sleepy Hollow in New York City or whatever. Because he's, like, kind of like a Sherlock Holmes-esque guy. Now he's got his girl, now he's got his sidekick, and now they're back in New York City.
Yeah, dude. So the budget for this was $100 million, and it grossed slightly over 205.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's really good.
They could have made a second one. I guess. I don't know what it would have been about, but they could have.
Well, that's the thing. I think they couldn't have made, like, a sequel to this particularly, but, like, they've got the characters all set up. Now they're in New York City.
Yeah, they could do, like, the story of Ichabod Crane. Like, what was the next adventure that he went on?
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to see more like that. That's a good point. I'd be down because he's definitely an interesting character, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Now, have you guys seen the Disney animated version of this?
No. I have a very long time ago, and I don't remember a single thing from it.
Woo! It's actually pretty creepy too. Like, it's a lot shorter than this, obviously, and it's for kids, but like, I remember being really scared of it when I was a kid. And the difference between this Ichabod and that Ichabod is he's actually from Connecticut in that one.
Oh.
Justin.
See, nothing good comes from Connecticut.
That's true. That's true.
There's also, he has like a long nose and long fingers. He's not an attractive guy. And I guess Johnny Depp wanted to do that, but everybody was like, no. Like,
you're Johnny Depp, you're in your prime, you're beautiful.
Exactly. They're like, you're too good looking for us to like...
This face!
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it was making me think another funny thing is like, the year after Titanic, they put Leo in Man in the Iron Mask, and it's like, how do we like make a lot of money? It's like, we get the hottest actor in the world and we cover his face for most of the movie. Kind of made me think of that.
Did the movie explain, maybe I missed it, how... when he was having those dreams where his mother was getting crushed by like that spike thing, it showed up on his hands?
He backed up into it.
Yeah, but remember when he woke up in bed and Christina Ricci hugged him?
Oh,
how did
bleeding?
How did it happen that time?
No, I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Yeah, no, because they kind of just like threw that in the plot, but then they never really follow up anything with it.
Yeah, I thought something was gonna lead up to that. Like, he also had like some magical powers, but it didn't explain it.
But like, if that happens to you when you're like, I don't know, I'm assuming he was like 7 or 8 or whatever, like, and you get all those like holes in your hands, are they still gonna be there like 30 years later?
Scars, I guess.
I don't know, but I mean, they definitely wouldn't just randomly bleed.
Right? No, of course not. But like, they looked like they were still pretty fresh, even when he was just like, he's like looking at them. He's like, I've had them as long as I can remember. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Those look like really new.
Yeah.
This is interesting to me because I like horror, and maybe you'll find this interesting, Matt. You're gonna not give a shit, Justin, but the guy that originally wrote this and was supposed to direct it, his name is Kevin Yeager. Do you know who he is?
The name sounds familiar.
So he's a huge guy in the special effects and makeup and everything like that. He's actually one of the people that worked on Child's Play. So he
okay.
One of the original Chucky dolls. But actually, you might care now, Justin. He worked on Starship Troopers.
Oh, that would explain Casper Van Dien.
Actually, it really, really might, actually. Yeah. So he married the lead female from Child's Play, from Chucky, when he was working on Chucky. And he also did Nightmare on Elm Street. He did part 2 and 3 and 4, all the makeup. But yeah, he also did Starship Troopers. So
that's awesome. Matt, Starship Troopers is one of my favorite movies.
So. I really need us to like reboot that franchise or do something because I love that movie immensely, and it's not talked about enough by like the general audience at all.
Yeah, we did an episode on it, the first one, and then I don't know if you've seen the others. I think there's 4.
Yeah, they've done a bunch.
And they're just like, it progressively got worse. Like, one of them is like completely animated, and then like they just got so bad.
Yeah, his career is kind of fallen
apart.
Hey, have you seen Assailant?
Probably.
Nah, it came out in 2022. It came out this year. Remember I was telling you about it? I watched it at work, and I told you about it, and it's about him, like, following a couple on vacation and being like, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
I didn't see that.
It's literally, I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now. The movie doesn't even have a Wikipedia.
Stop it. Dude.
No, I'm serious.
Listen, he's Rico, all right?
I like him. I do like him. I do. But
yeah, so I'm reading the reviews here because I always like to just browse IMDb reviews. And Matt, we mentioned every movie how like people's opinions of movies can be so drastically different. Like, this got a 7.3 on IMDb, and there's a ton of 8 and 10-star reviews. And then you just get to this one 4-star review that says boring. And it's like, I was expecting this movie to be great, but I was so disappointed. It's very overrated. If 50 minutes were taken out, it may have been fine. This is an hour and 45-minute movie, so this dude's saying, if it was a 45-minute
jeez.
And then you have a 10-star that's one of Burton's and Depp's best. So, Matt, do you have any thought as to how there could be such differing opinions?
You know, that's the one thing that has baffled me with movies, right? Because you see this, especially a lot in movies lately, where it's like, did we watch the same thing? You'll have a bunch of general consensus like, this is great. And then somebody just comes out of left field where it's this movie's awful. And they throw out some takes that it's like, what movie did you watch? Because I don't even know where they're getting this. It was boring. There was nothing there. Like, there was a lot that happened. This movie is just steadily nothing but an hour and 40 minutes of people getting their heads cut off. And it starts from the get-go. So I don't know how you're not entertained and kind of sucked in there, but I don't understand it. I really don't. But maybe maybe I'm the problem too, because I feel that way about a certain Star Wars movie that everybody loves. So I don't know.
Speaking of which, I told Alec I was on your podcast for the review of the original trilogies.
Yes.
And somebody had done the prequels already, because I think I asked, I was like, are the prequels free? And then it was between the originals and the sequels, and I was just, I didn't say anything, obviously, because I didn't want to inconvenience you guys, but when you picked the originals, I was like, oh my God, thank God.
I didn't even, oh God. I wouldn't willingly put, there was somebody who willingly wanted to talk about the sequels, and I was like, you know what? Power to you, because I got nothing but negativity here. So maybe this person will bring some positivity to the show.
Yeah, and Alec, you know what else I noticed about this? And I don't know if it's because it came out in the 90s, but I feel like movies back then were, the timing was better. So like this was an hour and 45, and I felt like it was perfect, because if it was an hour 30, they would have shaved off like 15 minutes of crucial story, and if it was 2, it maybe would have been like, all right, get to the point. So this really hit the sweet spot for me.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, I think in the review that you read, Justin, where it said that it's like one of Tim Burton and Johnny Depp's best. I mean, I agree. I seriously think this is kind of like the peak. This is like when Burton like peaked, and it kind of started. I mean, Big Fish is great too, but it's just, I don't know. It's been a steady decline.
One of Johnny, Tim's, and Casper's best.
And Casper's?
Casper Van Dien.
I mean, for sure him, yeah.
You're right, though, in that nowadays it feels like everybody wants to create some sort of trilogy. And had this been made now, they would have been pumping out 2 more movies already. And they would have made this 2 hours long, which would not have been necessary, because they probably would have filled it with just useless detective work, right? Like, you get a fair amount of detective work in this, but it doesn't feel like it's boring, too over the top, stretched out. It's just enough to hit that sweet spot. And you're like, oh, sweet. I'm leaving this fulfilled. I mean, there was nothing more I wanted from this movie. There was nothing that was like, okay, they could have cut this out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of detective work, did either of you guys laugh when Johnny Depp was looking at the first beheaded guy and he like pretended he was a horse trotting?
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Ah.
When he like reenacted it, yeah.
Yeah, when he like was pretending to hold the reins, I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
I mean, I think the thing I laughed at the most, just because I'm like, oh, this is so 90s, is like when the house collapsed on top of the horseman and the kid's like, is he dead? And Johnny Depp goes, the problem is he already was. And I was like, this is such a 90s trailer moment, like right there.
All right, so Matt, at the end we always rate it out of 10. So like I said, this got a 7.3 on IMDb. What would you give it?
Honestly, man, I would give it a 7.5. Like, it isn't going to blow you away, but you're going to come out of this movie entertained. It's a fine movie. It's not a bad movie, and it holds up surprisingly well. So I'd give it about the 7.5 range.
Awesome. Okay. Alec?
Yeah, I'm going 7.8 actually. I think
Ooh.
I really honestly I think that it's just like, yeah, it holds up, great special effects, doesn't really have any cheesy moments, all-star cast, love the music. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I was going to say 7.5 at least, because it really has romance, it has some slight horror, I guess you could say, because people are dying. And there's action in it too. There's plenty of sword fighting. So I mean, everyone should see this, and you can definitely have it in your October rotation.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and who doesn't want to see Christopher Walken just going like, ah! Every time you see him, it's just like, it's like, damn, dude.
Also, can we just talk about the velocity that the headless horseman must have thrown that fence post for it to rip through that dude's sternum?
Oh, he had a cannon.
He doesn't have any eyes or a fucking head, and he's able to throw it perfectly, like knowing, yeah, Tom Brady, get the fuck out of here.
He's a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, all right?
He fucking Tom Brady that thing right there.
If he didn't lose his head, he was easily going to go win the state championship game.
Dude, like, doesn't even have a head.
And then, dude, they like violently pulled him through that window.
Oh, yeah.
The window like blew out.
What's he gonna do? Like, just like, oh fuck, he's stuck. And he's like, oh.